Hello and welcome. This is a video of my second attempt at an acrylic pour. And here are some of the paints that I used, starting with the black. And then I used the Artist Loft Aqua Green. And I used some of the dollar store paints as well. This was the Sky Blue and the DecoArt Copenhagen Blue. And then warm beige, and also the sun yellow. And then I did mix two together. I did want to have some of a shimmer to the painting, and so I did mix the silver metallic with the plain white metallic just to give it a little bit of a shimmer. And then I did use the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic White and mixed in pouring medium into all of the paints, as well as a little bit of the silicone oil, a few drops. I actually used more drops this time than the first time I tried a pour because I was missing the cells the last time and it got very muddied. So what I did learn is when I was mixing the paints to make sure that I had the right consistency. In the first pour in my first video, everything got pretty mixed together, and that's because I had used a bit of water, and this time I didn't use any of the water. I just decided to go with the pouring medium with the silicone oil until I got the right consistency. I also, when I put them onto my canvas, as you can see here, I made sure that I created good separation between the colors. In my first video, I actually poured the colors on top of one another because I was hoping to use a different method. But this time I decided I am going to make sure that there's good separation between my colors. I did really want to get some cells. The other thing about this particular pour is I probably wouldn't have used the yellow again. I think the yellow was a bit too much of a contrasting color, and I think the beige added enough of that with the other lighter colors, because I'm going to use the black to swipe through the rest of the colors. I did use the saran wrap, and you can see here, unfortunately, it got hung up on the black. I think it was the black was a bit thick, and then what happened was it pulled it right off of the canvas. So I think I needed a lighter touch on that, which was really unfortunate because it was creating really nice cells. I really liked the look of what was coming through from the bottom. So I did just finish doing the swipe here for the little area that I missed, and overall I was a bit happier than in my first pour, but again, definitely learning some different techniques that will help me on my third pour. So here I'm just trying to get a little bit more white onto the canvas so that when I do move it around and start to tilt, some of these paints will actually move around. I didn't want them to get caught up and not pour off of the edges. And then what I did is I just tried to make sure I got a little bit of paint on the corners. That was also a problem in my first pour, so I am making sure that I get better coverage on those edges so that I don't have to touch them up at the end. So I just really liked the cells that were coming through, and there was a lot of bubbles, so I did give it a bit of a torch. I think a little bit too much of a torch personally, but again, a little bit of a learning curve in terms of getting better. So now as I tilt it, I'm trying to keep as much of the shape of the cells as I can. I didn't really want them to be too oblong, but I also realized that it probably wasn't going to work because as you move the paints around, you're absolutely going to lose the shape of the cells. I really liked the light blue with the black near the bottom corner, and I knew that if I tilted it too much, I was going to lose those right off the edge. The other thing I learned about not having Floetrol yet is that it didn't actually level itself out very well. It almost looked like there was divots across the canvas, and I was hoping that when it dried, those would level out a bit, but they actually didn't. But that's okay. I did manage to recover the piece of art for the end anyway. But now I actually managed to get some Floetrol, so I'm hoping to use that in my next pour, and hopefully that will fix some of the leveling problem that I had. And again, still trying to make sure that the paints flow right off the edges here, and do some covering. Again, because I'm learning, I wasn't too concerned about making something that was incredibly artistic, or I wasn't really worried. It's not like these are things that I'm going to sell. I really just wanted to practice, have some fun, do something relaxing, and then as I'm doing these, I am learning more about what kind of colors to use together, how to mix my paints, and also just how to pour onto the canvas itself. I did really like the black, so I'm trying to get more of the black foundational color underneath the paints. So here I go again, gonna do a little bit more tipping around. You can see these edges aren't covered at all. I don't even think I poured enough paint on the canvas to begin with. And so here I am again, trying to create a bit more of the cells in those areas that I just added some paints. Then I realized better just give it another swipe, and hopefully that will help. I realized that I probably could have used my knife to do this, but again, hindsight. This is all learning, and I'm hoping that as I learn, it's helping you to also learn some of the things not to do. A lot of videos showing the right ways to do things, but you'll see that I tend to do things the hard way. So just finishing up, I don't mind the looks of this as it is, and so I'm giving it one last torch to make sure that any cells that might be hidden there might come out. And you'll see that what I do afterwards is way too much torching here. And what you'll see is I managed to get quite a few of the cells to still show, and I was quite happy, like I said, with some of the sections of this. It was better than my first one for sure. But I'm going to do a little bit of a painting on top of this, and so you'll see the final painting in just a moment. So here is the final version. I did paint a turtle onto the canvas, but there were so many colors that the turtle just didn't stand out, so that's why I had to shade him in gold as the final product. And it was not easy to paint on this acrylic painting, the pour, because it was very shiny and the acrylic paints had trouble sticking. But I did manage to make it work in the end. Please join me again, subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching.